includes everybody if you do a little study. Unto whom, now listen now, unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and whose spirit there is no guile. Now, the etymology of that is the spirit that don't put nobody down, curse nobody out, try to play games. In other words, they're accountable to God. Whatever they do is done in a credible manner. They just don't fly off the handle. And God said, and plus, you got to understand, blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity. In other words, those inward hurts, he smooths them to the point you don't even have a reason to be mad about anything. He said, I'm not going to let that hurt overwhelm you. Maybe they did do you wrong. But I told you in my word, vengeance, what, anybody read the Bible, is mine. When you're blessed enough, even if your parents didn't do everything, at least they got you here, no matter what you think about. Now, you don't have, God even took care of that. They don't do nothing that's outside of my will. So, and if you, they don't have to do that, but now you respect your parents. Then don't think God didn't let them off the hook. He said, parents, don't exacerbate your children. All you got to do is do the book. That's not a person in here now. If you be honest with yourself, if somebody ain't said something to you that got you so hurt, you can't see straight. See, that's an inward iniquity. You bearing grievance against that person. I don't know who hurt you. You do. So God said, I'm not going to let that overtake you. Remember, that becomes a seething thing on the inside. To the point, after a while, it has a life of its own. And some folks call it fatal attraction. You know, it just began to where you can't cut it loose. But God said, you're blessed when you understand that and you handle yourself as a blessed person of God. Now, here's what God said. So you know that the McDaniels ain't making this up. It comes from the Word of God. It says, when I kept silent, my bones waxed old through my roaring all the day long. In other words, it just gets hold to you and you can't function. God said, you act like somebody that ain't blessed. You blessed. I blessed you from the beginning. I'm blessing you now. But when you don't tell me, even though I don't need you to tell me, but you're supposed to tell me, you know, cast all them cares upon me. You understand what he's saying? Don't you try to manage it, because there's something your body is not going to let you manage. You can play all you want to, but it will reflect in your physical well-being. God said, I'm going to bless you enough. I ain't going to let that get hold to you. Y'all don't think that's a blessing? I think we need some of them blessings even right now. If folks walking around here mad, now verse 4, for day and night thy hand was heavy upon me. My moisture is turned into drought of summer. In other words, sometimes we think it's God doing it. God's not doing it. If you really do some study on it, he said, you know, if you would just read that without doing just a little bit of study, you'll think that God's hand heavy upon it. No, it's not. Because God told you in his word that a fleshly mind and a spiritual mind can't abide in the same place. So how you going to say God doing that to you? I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying some of them Kenites may have kind of twisted that word just a little bit. Now, God's presence might be there. That still small voice is telling you this is the way, walk in it. But he's not heavy. Now, one thing you need to understand, and thing you need to know, if he loves you, he will kind of get on your case because he was the elect. Now, that's what he really saying there, but it's true. Now, listen. Now, look how he shifts gear, and all we have to do is do the same thing. This is a prophetic psalm. Now, it works for him, works for you too. I don't need to go next door, up the creek, round the corner. I acknowledge my sin unto thee, and my iniquity have I not hid. In other words, I'm not going to hide that from you because I know it's eating me alive. If you ain't got something up north. See, that's why God told even married couple, man, I give y'all this no charge. Don't let the sun go down on your anger. Anybody read in the Bible? Because if you don't deal with that and get it cleared up in your head, I guarantee you pretty soon that thing going to start churning. Next thing, every time they stick their head out the door, something going on, something like that. You can't live that way. God said that's the enemy's trick so that you got your mind so wrapped up on nonsense that you can't do anything for yourself or me. I hope ain't nobody that's a lie. Think about it. Okay? Time for us to think about some things. We are very quick to, if we don't deal with it, how many times have you said something not meaning to, but you end up hurting somebody like you was hurt? Because you don't realize you was blessed. You don't realize that God would take that from you if you just asked it. Oh, they got quiet on me on that one, didn't they? Mm-hmm. Listen now. For this shall everyone that is godly pray unto thee. This is instruction now. In a time when thou mayest be found. Surely in the floods of great waters they shall not overcome, they shall not come nigh unto thee. Now understand, in this case, it has a double meaning. Do a little research. It also refers to people. A flood of lies. That's what the old enemy going to do over there against the lady who he all upset with, but he can't win. See, many of us got some folks just lying on you like, woo, 75 going south. But you don't let them see you sweat because you what? You blessed. And God promised you they shall not come nigh unto you. You're a Teflon Christian. That stuff just bounce off. Don't stick to you. See, you forgot now. What did the devil tell the Lord? Now, when they come up with Job, you got a hedge around it. Don't you know we throw all that away? Because we don't want God in our life. Thinking he's going to mess it up. Look here. That stuff won't even come nigh unto you. Now, why? It's so simple right here. Thou art my hiding place. Y'all don't hear what? Isn't that a blessing? Some folks try to go to their hiding place called crack, cocaine. Good, that's a good one too. Themselves, they call it depression.